Bradford pear that I spliced on some Bartlett pear. Let me show you. So we got a Bradford pear, invasive kind of pear tree, grafted with Bartlett. We'll see how it works out. It's actually growing quite good. I've trimmed it back a bunch just so it wouldn't get weak, because if these get too heavy it'll break these unions. So we have a perfect example of a grapevine that again, this is all old vineyards. These grapes are still viable. We can come in here and trim them back, maybe get some grapes this year, definitely get grapes next year. This is a perfect example of one that's it's a small vine, but it has some new growth on it from last year, is where the grapes are gonna grow this year. So we'll trim it back, we'll leave a couple of sprigs of new wood, and see if we get grapes. I'm doing this all on these trails that we have, right on the edge of the trails. I'm just trimming every one up that we can do. Let's get to it. So what I'm going to do is trim these back, these old vines, to some new growth from last year. Everywhere there's a little bud. So we're going to trim that one off. We're going to leave a couple of these sprigs. Let me get you guys up there so you can see it. These little sprigs right here, new wood from last year. We don't want to leave a lot of them on. We want all the growth to go into just a couple of these sprigs. So we're going to trim this back like that. So now on this vine, all we have is these two. Dang it, you can't see it yet. We have these two little sprigs right here. There'll be grapes growing on those. It'll just wind its way on this tree, and we'll be good. We'll see how it goes. So basically that's all I do, is just go in here and trim these up. We'll see how they go. This will be a stronger vine next year, and we'll trim it back again some more. So what I'm spraying in here is, last year I cut down a lot of autumn olive, starting to sprout on the trunks where I cut it off. So I'm just going in and spraying those, knock them down. I'm not taking out all the autumn olive, just the stuff that where it's gotten really thick. I need to leave some for cover. So we got a bunch of spraying to do. So now that we got all the spraying and the cutting done, trimming, let's talk about what we got going on here. This area of the properties ended up being one of the nicer spots on our 12 acres. It wasn't that nice when we first came down here. It was pretty darn thick. We had to do a lot of work to get this cleaned up. We had to cut all the Russian olive out of here, the wild roses, the poison ivy, the vines. It was a mess. We got a little video before and after, and we're going to show you that. So we ended up spending a lot of time down here. We got a nice fire pit. We got our rustic outdoor grill. We got a little picnic table. We come down here and eat and do a lot of things. So we wanted to be able to spend, you know, a little more time down here more comfortably. So we put this deck on. We're going to put a canvas wall tent, really nice one from Davis Tent. It comes with a awning, rain fly, and we're going to have a 4-foot extension on the rain fly, 3 windows, screen door in the front, stove jack, so we can have a little wood stove in there, so we can come down here and spend time in the winter and have some quality time down here on our 12 acres. And yeah, it's going to be good. So we had to build this log structure to hold the awning. The tent's going to be freestanding, so these logs, we actually went out and cut them. They're larch trees or tamarack, pretty rot resistant, beautiful trees. So we went out and cut them, peeled them, dried them, cut them to length, notched them, let them dry for quite a while, 5 weeks I think. 3 coats of boiled linseed oil, let that dry, and now we put the structure up and we're just waiting on the tent. So we're going to show you the process of the cutting and the I got this one left to do. And these ones here are the ones we did a couple years ago. You can see I left the cambium layer on there. It's better to get that off when you're peeling them. I think I'll be able to save them. I started shaving them. And that's what I got. It's some nice pretty wood with some staining. It actually looks pretty good. So we're gonna shave this log, cut all these knots off, get rid of these knots. You can see they peel pretty easy. It's better to get the cambium layer off while you're peeling instead of trying to do it later. So as I'm peeling, you can see this is a cambium layer. Here's the bark. You want to get that off, because otherwise it looks like that. So as you're peeling, you try to get that all off.